Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to sew the lily bralette. This project is a collaboration between ANTHEA Handmade and the Handmade kind. For this project, you should use stretch lace with a scalloped edge. Every time you see the scalloped edge on the pattern pieces, remember to cut it close to the edge like this. For this video, I'm gonna be using a lace that is 23 centimeters large, but if you have a different measure of lace, you can just adapt your pattern pieces to it. When the pattern asks you to cut a pair, it means you need to fold the fabric to cut it twice, or you can cut one side and then flip the pattern to cut the other side. If you want to make the lace design even for both sides, you can mirror the lace pieces. This way, both sides of your bralette will look the same. Pay attention to the direction of greatest stretch, as you have to place your patterns on your lace, guided by the arrows indicated in the pattern. Remembering to always leave the scalloped edge mark close to the edge of the lace. We'll then pin and cut, remembering if your preferred method is instead to use pattern weights, feel free to do what suits you better. Using an overlocker or serger is the best option for this sewing project, but don't think you shouldn't do it if you don't have one. You can use a zigzag stitch instead, and also use a zigzag stitch as a top stitch. It's always good to test the seams first in a scrap of lace to see the outcome and elasticity. I recommend using 100% polyester for this project, as they are stronger. Also, use a ballpoint needle when sewing stretch fabrics. You should use stretchable stitches when sewing knits, so I'm using zigzag stitches as a top stitch. The cup pattern is divided on side and center. You cut 2 pairs of each, so now we're going to properly unite one center to each one of the sides. I always like to use pins to keep everything together prior to sewing it on the serger. Always remember to take out your pins before using the serger. The next step is to sew both center cups together. You can decide how you want to do it, but I like to hide the overlock thread tail inside the seam using a tapestry needle. When top stitching, fold the seams towards the sides of the cup. For the center part, you can choose which side suits you better to fold before top stitching. Now, to apply the lining, we're going to position the center cut you have in your pattern on top of the center of our cups. We'll pin everything properly . And then apply it to the cups using a zigzag stitch. The next step is to mark the center of our lower front piece and pin it to our cups, stretching it when needed to fit the cups properly. And then we'll sew it together on the serger and prepare to apply our elastics. For this next part, we're going to use a folding elastic. I like to start sewing a tiny piece first and then put the piece inside of the folding part of our elastic. After we finish applying the elastic using a zigzag stitch, we'll do a zigzag top stitch to leave it firmer. We'll use now the same elastic for our back part. To sew this folding elastic, we're going to use again the zigzag stitch. Now we have to pin front and back parts together and sew it using our serger. this point, we'll use the tapestry needle to pass the end of our thread inside of the seam. I always prefer the outcome with a top stitch, but it's optional. You can fold the seams towards the back part before top stitching. Now, to prepare our straps, you have to cut a pair of straps using the measures from the document, and you're gonna need 2 sliders and 2 rings. Start passing your elastic inside both parts of the slider, then sew it using a straight stitch or a closed zigzag stitch. You can then trim the excess of elastic. Then you have to pass the end of the elastic inside of the ring and pass it once again inside the sliders. Now, applying your straps, you can use a straight stitch or a closed zigzag stitch. You're gonna need to use 2 pieces of elastic of around 5 centimeters. To place your straps onto the back part, you can use the measurements from the pattern and leave a pin on the correct position. You'll pass this piece of elastic inside the ring and then position it on the pins you left marking the positions. Using either a straight stitch or a zigzag stitch. this is the amazing outcome. I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next project.